Exploration of the borderland that links the external world of the reasoning mind, of the senses and of the psychic ego with the inner world of spiritual instinct, sacred emotion and the higher consciousness is incumbent upon all human beings by virtue of the demands of their humanity, a humanness that implies above all an infusion of the vertical dimension of spirituality within the temporal and mundane setting of the purely physical and earthly experience. Within the isthmus, we can reflect the image of the world as well as the image of the Creator. Insofar as we turn outward in dealing with the world, we become an image of the world. As we turn inward and activate the higher faculties, we become an image of the Creator and a reflection of His qualities and attributes. We grow on the image of the borderland as a domain of mediation and synthesis in order to emphasize the possibility that still exists for people today to cultivate a holistic experience of life that is based on the interaction of outer and inner world, that ultimately come together as a synthesis in the unity of the one reality. Existential reality locks us in the embrace of an earthly duality that exists within the mind and psycho of the human being as experience of the outer and inner world, and that are aggrandized during these times within the two great world views of modern science and the traditional wisdom of the spiritual world. The supernal reality of the mind reviews an alternative topography that includes the foreshadowing of some other world, some deeper life awaiting our attention that anticipates another kind of existence true to our deepest yearnings. We intend to highlight the quest for a more complete understanding of human experience by reflecting on the faculties of knowing and the fields of perception that characterize the borderland, including the human reason, intelligence, heart knowledge, consciousness, spiritual imagination, and sacred instinct, all of which are embedded within the ground of the human soul and activated by a free will that can lead us out of ourselves and make transcendence of the human condition possible. The inner realm of the higher faculties constitutes a borderland and wilderness area that we need to more fully explore and experience if we ever wish to understand the universal mystery that underscores all existence. We must recognize this mystery as a truth of our existential reality if we are able to achieve the knowledge of the true reality, that all people unequivocally profess to be the ultimate goal of a modern, thinking individual. One cannot help but have feelings of entering the environs of a lost world when considering the characteristics of this borderland. The traditional word of the Spirit has become a phantom from a remote past that is nearly unrecognizable in today's world, except as a distant specter of a world now passed by. The faculty of the human intellect, that was once capable of direct perception of the divinity, no longer exists as a viable option for modern humanity. This open door to the infinite seems to have been irrevocably closed to the contemporary modern mindset. The mind slowly now relies so only on the perception of an externalized intelligence and a creative and fertile imagination. The brave, the sensitive, the intelligent and open heart, what we call the other heart, the forgotten one, is only a vague sentiment of its formal self, a heart that once took root in the ground of the soul and could see reflected in the promise of some future world the primordial beginning of time. One point worth mentioning as we commence this endeavor is the fact that the human being does not and never will perceive the reality directly, at least not within this world. Behind all theories of modern science, and the perennial message of the spiritual traditions, lies realization that humanity will not see the face of the Creator, and will only perceive the reality